Hello, everyone. This is a bit of a shock for you for once. As you can quite clearly see here, I have Simon from the Simon Says Pod and Morlando actually video calling with me.
Hello.
Welcome. Now, you have become the king of Rant Football predictions, quite frankly. You're either in the top two, you're never near the bottom anymore. Clearly,
No.
match fixing.
I'm not match fixing. I told you, I gave me secret weapons away last week with fish.
Yes, and when you do no more smugness from me, because I've won Rant Football and I've killed football. I win it and football's gone. And that's why you're on, Simon.
Yeah,
so
you killed it.
So everybody, as you know, pretty much we've come into a period of sport now with, is it Covid19 it's called? The coronavirus?
Yeah, Covid19.
For 14 nights, they're saying, I think will be longer. All sports in the UK, especially, and most of Europe and the world now have been, what's the best word? Suspended, I suppose.
Yeah, I'm going to use the word suspended because a lot of people are saying cancelled, and it's definitely not been cancelled. There's a UEFA meeting, is it tomorrow, I believe? Think about what they're going to do with Euros. So I think once that decision's been made, that's when we'll get the information we need.
I think the Euros are going to be called off until 2021.
Mm-hmm.
I think they're going to need summer, depending on how long this goes on for. I think they're going to use the summer to play behind closed door football games and get the season finished. Personally, I don't know what you think. I think they should scrap the cup competitions now and just say to everyone, finish your leagues.
No, I don't think we should scrap the cup ones. Because as I'm a Newcastle fan, we got to the quarter final for the first time in 18 years. So,
who you got in the quarter?
City.
Scrap it.
No.
You're going out. You want to win a treble.
I don't think they should scrap it. I don't think they should. I know what a lot of people are thinking, it should be done. But personally, I think the matches will be finished. It's just that we'll have a delayed season. Because we'll not forget, when does the season finish? Beginning of May?
It's usually just mid-May, isn't it?
Yeah, mid-May, and then they don't start again till August. They've got 2.5 months there to play with. Footballers don't need 2.5 months off.
Well, in theory, depending on how long this goes, they could be having a month off anyway.
Yeah, so there you go. So they can finish the season, I'd say, mid-June? Middle of June?
June, maybe July.
And then the season starts again.
You could say start the season a week to maybe 2 weeks later than it would normally start. You know, just give that little bit of extra for the managers to get the new players in.
And if they really do need to do it, why don't they have a Christmas, not Christmas break, but have a winter break, but make it extend it over 2 weeks in January and extend the season another week for next year? These solutions, you just need to think about what they're going to do.
It's going to be a hard one, though, because there's someone pointing out to me at work, if they move Euro 2021 to 2021 next year, the year after, we've only got less than we've got, it usually should be 2 years. It's going to be 7 months or something until we move into the November. And then we have the World Cup in the most stupid country that's ever been chosen. Yeah, well,
that's another thing we can rant about another day. But yeah, I understand that. But the thing is, don't forget these footballers paid a hell of a lot of money.
Yeah, so what do you think about the COVID-19 anyway?
Well, it's getting serious. The media are overplaying it in my eyes. You can at me if you want, I don't really care. But they've just come out today and said over 5,000 people have died. Now hit a milestone number. But 3,827 people on average have died in a motor accident today as well. But that's not mainline news. Sources are out there, just search it. On average, 1.25 million people die a year from car accidents. But then that's not being publicised on the media. 5,000, yes, is a lot of people. I do understand that. But a lot of them, and I think 99% of them, are from underlying problems. It's just that this is a trigger.
Oh, so you would say the majority is from Asia, right?
Yeah.
No, it's not the worldwide. To my opinion, it's not the worldwide pandemic they've made it out to be.
Yeah.
You took China out of the equation, it'd be a very small number.
Yeah, it was 100. I think it's crept up to 130,000 across the world, and I think it's 100, maybe just over 100,000 in the Asian countries alone. So we've got,
yeah, that's a quarter of the world. The rest of it, we can't say though because we don't know how bad it is going to get. Is it going to get worse?
We don't.
I'm reading China's. People don't know. Me and Simon do a podcast with Craig Lucas, who hasn't been on for a few weeks, called Morlando. It's about Orlando, and it's not just about the theme parks with a few people. So we keep an eye on theme parks around the world. Am I right saying that in China they're starting to open up Disneyland again?
I think Shanghai is ready for opening next week, and I think the 2 week, or was it 3 weeks with Japan, is finishing next week. And the next week. So I think the Asia parks are starting to open. Sorry.
So any news with Japan continuing their ban on people going in, or are they
not that I'm aware of. All I know that it's the first time ever that all 6 Disney parks will be shut on Monday. So
shocking. So I know people are thinking this is a football thing, but we're just trying to give perspective. We don't know anything about football in Asia. We don't really know about the sports, but when you look at the big places like theme parks and that, they're slowly starting to open up again. The shops are opening again.
Yeah.
But they're trying to say to people that the panic's, there is a reason to be worried. It's unfortunate that people are dying. But at the same time, for sport and that, a lot of people I'm seeing online, they're writing it's going to go on for 9 weeks or more with no sport. I personally don't see that football. Formula One, they're saying they're not going to come back until mid-June or July. Formula One, there's not as many events as there in football. So you could
the Formula One I can understand because this opening weekend supposed to be 350,000 people there. That's a lot of people in the same area. But
yeah, if you got rid of the Euros like Champions League in that year, I know it's unfortunate if they did get rid of it in that because Man City could be on a ban for the next 2 seasons, so that would be really gutting for them because I do fancy them to win it this year. But if that was called off this year, you'd understand that. But things like the Premier League, I feel like it's in one country with like Formula One, international sports and all that. You're traveling to different countries. I think there's far more risk to that, but you can control it more in your own country.
Yeah, you can. But it's a tough one to call really at the moment. I don't want to sound pedantic, but I think a lot of places, especially in the UK, are not reacting quick enough. Like you see what they're doing in America at the moment, all sports being cancelled. We've just done the football now. But in America, they've got a lot less cases than what we've got. So they've obviously started this earlier.
By the way, I don't know if you've got the same feeling as me, the football. Right, so I don't know if everybody knows. On the Thursday, the Premier League put a statement out saying all weekend games were going to be played. I found it very the coincidence in this, that late night that Arsenal put a statement out about Mikel Arteta having it, and then Chelsea very late at night put their statement out about Hudson-Odoi. Like they didn't agree that the Premier League games were getting played, and so forth. They had to put statements out to make the Premier League make this decision.
Yeah, they did too. But it's like I said, I don't understand what happened this week. You had the Liverpool game going ahead with 3,000 Madrid fans coming over, where they've got more cases in Madrid than what we've got in the whole of the UK.
Madrid, as of today, as Friday, gone into lockdown.
So, they've allowed 3,000 fans to come over. But then when United go over to, Man United, by the way, going over to Austria and being played behind closed doors. So they didn't know what they was doing. They panicked. I think the Football League has not panicked, but they've actually thought about it, but took too long to think about it. This decision should have been made possibly Monday or Tuesday, and they've left it till like the day before. Because don't forget, there's games on Saturday. Some people have probably made plans to go to the away game already, because some people do, and their plans have all been ruined by this morning. They could have set off this morning to wherever they were going. Example, if it was like Newcastle and Southampton, Newcastle fans might have started making their way down there, and then later on this morning it's been cancelled. They could have made this decision a lot earlier.
Well, I think there's been a lot of muck-ups. Like we've known this a couple of months about this disease. Chelsea Bayern Munich next week was meant to be behind closed doors. The club said, Chelsea, a statement said they were gonna, anybody who booked through the club were gonna get their money back and everything.
Yeah.
unless you put 10 other ways, pretty much hard work. It's less than a week. They did say it this week. Personally, I think this could have been said 2 weeks ago. They must have had an idea about it over 2 weeks ago. As you said, there's been too much happening around by every sort of sports. I understand sports are business now, and there's loads of money in it, but they're not thinking about people like you and me, everyday people who earn a living, have to live a life. We're not millionaires. We could book this. And this could have cost us so much money that we might not get back. For me, 8 weeks, I'm off to Orlando, touch wood. British Airways have come out today and said about doing a bit of strife.
I disagree. I disagree with what BA have come out and said with that. They're grounding planes. They're not spending the money. All they've got to do is cover the cost of the staff. If they ground all planes, for a few weeks it's not going to cost us much, is it? Compared to what they say, we're going to have to lose jobs. It's all the money we're stripping.
I think the owner of BA, he did this on purpose. He wanted to make layoffs, and this has been the perfect excuse.
Yeah, I don't think it'll be the first, and I definitely won't be the last.
Oh yeah,
there's going to be some companies out there that are going to make massive cuts. I personally work in the postal industry, and I think there's going to be massive cuts because people are going to stop sending stuff in the mail.
Yes, no. So, I was going to say as well about football. What do you think if now this is a scenario what no one hopes happens? Now let's get into these scenarios. Worst come case, it goes on for too long, the season's cancelled. Do you go by the scenario of this season's wiped out altogether? What I think's unfair to Liverpool, they've won the league. I don't care what anybody says, they're the best team. Or do you go scenario? You say, right, the team's got a game in hand on Chelsea in fourth. You win that game in hand, you're still not catching Chelsea. You're finishing where you are, and then maybe the teams in the relegation positions and the playoff positions in the Championship, and that they play like the Premier League ones play playoffs in the Premier League to decide who goes down, and then obviously we have the playoffs in the Championship to decide who comes up. Obviously, first place looks like they're coming up.
It's unprecedented. We've never been in this situation before. What I personally would do is the season's done. If the season's finished, that's it. It's where it is. That's where you are is where you finish. No disrespect to Aston Villa or yourself, Chelsea, or anyone. You've got to that position now. Yeah, you might have been able to go up a place or down a place, but you're in the position where it is now. If what can I put it towards? It's like with golf. Sure. If a golf tournament ends after the first round, that's it. That's where you finished. Yeah. It's the same as that.
I'm trying to figure out if teams. I'm not sure the relegation positions and who's.
No,
saying if a team in the relegation position, say the bottom three, had a game in hand. Well, I'm not sure if it is. If it is, and this is irrelevant straight away. This is where there could be a court problem because they could say we could have won that game in hand and we could have been in that spot. Do you then say to the team in fourth from bottom and third from bottom, you play each other in a playoff, in a closed door playoff in the summer?
You could do, but you could also do it another way. The team that is mathematically can't get out of that position, which at the moment is Norwich.
Yes.
The bottom. Yeah. They're not going to get out of that top bottom three. It's going to be physically, not mathematically, they can still get out, but it's unlikely. That team should play third place in the Championship as a playoff to stay up and down.
I'm sure.
Try it that way.
Before we were even born, I'm sure that was done or something when we were very young.
I think they still do it in Scotland.
It would be interesting. It'd be like a bit of an American playoff system, but it's a one-off, and it's pretty much saying third from bottom in that, or second bottom. You've got a chance of staying up, and second place, and the team in third place. Personally, this is your chance to come up.
Yeah, the problem is with that. It's the difference between the Championship and the Premier League is nearly £100 million. It's a lot of money for that club to lose or to gain. I think something else. Thinking about it now, kind of just spurred that on me and never had. By the way, we're not prepared any of these questions. These are just what you just fired at me. So my brain's working overtime. That I think will be a little bit unfair doing it that way because It's a lot of money for a club to lose that money on a one-game match. Some of them players will be devastated, and some will be obviously elated. I know it's like that when it comes to the playoffs in the Championship and League One and League Two and all that. But the Championship playoff, they know. You've seen how gutted some of them players are. Can you imagine a Premier League team? Yeah, I don't know. It's one of those. I'd hope we don't have to be in this situation. That's really where I'm going.
As I say, I'm hoping 2 to 3 weeks this is over and done with. We can. I don't mind if the season's behind closed doors. I feel sorry though for football fans with season tickets. What do the clubs do for them?
I think what they're going to have to do. I think the FA have got to come in and ban this 3:00 showing of kickoffs.
They do that.
Well, if they're going to do that, that's fine. As long as it's on terrestrial TV, it can't be on just Sky or Virgin. It needs to be on a terrestrial.
If it's put on Sky on BT, this is my idea, 3:00 games. BT Nat should stop when you haven't got a subscription, you get that thing on your screen saying no signal or that.
Yeah.
At that time, they have free trials every once in a while. Boom. That just comes up, the football games. Personally, I think it should be given to Amazon Prime again.
Yeah, to be honest, I think the way, give it 2-3 seasons, I think Prime will have a lot more games. I think they'll probably have maybe one a weekend.
The only reason I say Prime for the 3:00 now, and this is the reason why, we know he's pretty much one of the richest guys, if not the richest man on the planet. He could financially back this and make it happen overnight.
Yeah.
But work with BT and Sky and say, look, you have 1 or 2 games each. We'll take the other 4 or 5 games. So they all share it between them. As you say, I also think BBC or ITV should get a game as well. Just share the love. Let's make it easier.
Yeah, make it. Well, not everyone's got Sky or Virgin or BT Sport, have they? So some of these people don't pay for them, so they can have a season ticket for like maybe Arsenal or Man United or something like that. Some people don't. Not everyone who's got a season ticket has a lot of money, so they make these sacrifices. And now, if they lose that privilege to watch that match, they should be. I don't know. There might be a special subscription service that they could bring up. I don't know.
I was wondering for people with season tickets who go to games as well, do the clubs pay them back, mathematically figure out how much their ticket will cost per game and give them money back for them games?
They should do, but I can't see the football clubs doing that. But they should do.
I could imagine the Premier League clubs doing it. I think they can handle it, but
League One and League Two clubs will struggle. But there's some clubs out there, they pay weekly for the tickets. A lot of these lower clubs, they get the fans to pay for them weekly, so they'll just stop the payments. Or some, like example, this is actually local news up here. Some of the Tranmere fans are still paying for the tickets, even though they can't watch the match. They're going into the shop, paying the money for the ticket, even though they can't watch it, to help support the club. Because some of these clubs will struggle. Some of these clubs are going to lose a lot of money because they're still going to pay wages. They're still going to keep the pitch ready just in case they've got to play. They've got to keep the ground maintained just in case they can play. But this money's got to come from somewhere. And some clubs live by week. The revenue they get in from the ticket sales helps to pay for the club. And if they're not getting the ticket sales in, they've got no money to spend and pay the wages. So it's an unprecedented situation for them.
This is what worries me as well with these clubs. This is when I think the big boys of the Premier League have got to step in. There's ways to do it. They could give them a percentage of like a loan, what's paid back over years, or because I know everyone says give free money, but it's a business. No business is going to give free money. The other option I think was actually better is clubs like a Chelsea, and that we've got so many good youth players and so many players out on loan. We say to these Div 2, Div 1s, even Championship sides who will struggle because not all Championship sides are off. We've got these players, we'll loan them to you for next season and we'll pay their wages.
Yeah.
And I think that would help clubs like that.
Oh, it will do, because they were mentioning about, I listened to a podcast today, I can't remember the name of it, but they actually said Swansea, they're paying out 200% of what they're bringing in every week this week. They're spending £1.9 million a week when they're only getting £1 million in, because of all the money they invested in the Premier League, and then they got relegated. And then he compared it to like Wolves, who've just come up. They spent 40 million a couple of seasons ago to get themselves into the Premier League, and now they're earning £200 million a year.
Fantastic club. That's good business.
So,
That's absolutely great business. I think.
But there's clubs out there that have done it and failed. Bolton, example, my hometown. They've got there, come back down. Got there, come back down. Look at them now. They're going to be starting in League Two next season because after going into administration. And
well, that's something I actually worry about these clubs in the lower league. I am, because Premier League is the money maker, but football in England is not football without the lower league sides.
no, it's not.
We don't find all these great youngsters now. We can't loan them out. We'd waste so much talent in this country if we didn't have the lower league sides to help us out. I mean, sometimes I watch the lower league games. I think that player's a bit too tasty for that league. Why is he playing in that league for?
Probably could be his contracts. You never know. They do sign these young ones up with some really long contracts, don't they, nowadays? So, but I think we've exhausted that situation, haven't we?
Yes. So, anyway, as you're here, I just want to tell you that because, as everyone knows, we put the predictions out and the games haven't happened. I've had to make an executive decision of this show. I've decided to put myself in first place with maximum points. Mysteriously, I got every single game correct.
I just come up with an idea. Who's got FIFA? We could put the games on FIFA. Let them do naturally and see what the results are.
That would be interesting. I wonder if Paul's got it because he's the type I think would have FIFA. So yeah,
I've got an old FIFA. I think I've got which one I've got. Hold on, hang on. I've got one here. 1 second. Yeah, there it is. Let's see. That's the most recent FIFA I've got. FIFA 12.
I can't think of his name now. It's the top of my head. The one who does his own podcast with Championship Manager Stephen Fife.
Right, I've got Championship Man in 2008 somewhere.
Yeah, well, I'm thinking Stephen Fife. Maybe we can ask him to do all the fixtures for us this weekend, and we'll take the results from him.
Yeah, could do. Yeah,
because he's on a podcast or YouTube. It's one of the two. I've always got confused.
Hang on, I found an even better one.
Oh God, Sensible Soccer.
No, this is a classic.
It is a classic.
There you go.
Well, tell me what you think, because I can't see it.
FIFA Football 2003 for the PS2. Never get rid of these old ones.
Tottenham fans, if you're watching, that's a very old game, and that would probably had more plays and cups you've won in the last 10 years.
Yeah, probably might. They might actually win this week with that.
Talking about it, I should really get Gavin on because we know he doesn't buy at anything, but he could tell us what empty stadiums are like. Yeah,
that's what United felt. That's what United fans figured out what City feel like every week now, won't they? But,
sorry, Gavin, right. Breaking news. Hang on. Okay, I'm passing on now. Star Wars is rubbish.
I'm just gonna leave them there. You can see them.
Right. Anyway, jokes aside, mate, can you quickly just tell us everybody what podcasts and everything else like that and what to follow you on?
Right, yeah, I do my own podcast. Sorry, I've got messages coming through from someone. I do my own podcast called Simon Says Podcast. It's it's mainly a trip thing, or when I do something, I just put a little podcast together to tell you what's been going on. Also do another podcast called the Morlando Podcast with yourself and the wonderful podfather of the network, Craig, where we get guests on for the reports of the trips to Orlando. Obviously, you were the focus last month.
Yeah,
I was the focus 2 months ago, and then we had the wonderful Callum the week before. We've got a guest lined up in a week or so, and we've got another guest lined up that I sorted out today. So I'm not telling you who it is. I'm not telling you who it is yet. If you want to, you know. But yeah, still a few things to sort out. But
wait, you tell everyone your Twitter handles.
Oh yeah, Twitter. It's at Simon Says Pod, or if you want to follow me myself, it's at Simon and Julie. JULES.
I'll write them both to the screen. So when we've been talking, they've probably been up anyway the whole time. So pretty much that's it, mate. Cheers for this. Not sure when we'll be talking football again. Everyone, Morlando, as he said, get onto it, listen to it on all good podcast apps out there. Also, pretty much if any of you
Is your prediction one still up from this week? You did put it up this morning, didn't you?
I decided to put it up because I had my.
So if you want to see how crap we are at predicting no scores, watch it anyway.
Yes, and if any of you watching, because I see loads of people watching, come on, please. Yeah. We want other people. We want.
It literally, what's it take? 2-3 minutes. That's what it takes most of the time. Except for when it took me to try and get that 180, it took me like 14 attempts. But
I told you I was going to keep that as your little secret, but now you've
but come on, 14 times. How long would it take you? How many? About 14 hours.
Yeah, 14 days in all fairness. Right, mate, I'm going to let you go. And everyone, if you want to hear more from me and Simon about theme parks and everything and what we think about the virus also with theme parks in Orlando and that, get on to Morlando next month. Right, at this point, we're now going to have Gavin's thought on what's going on with COVID-19. Not interview done. This was just Gavin recording, and so sit back, relax, and enjoy what Gavin says.
This way, because I'm getting cramp in my right hand. Phil's asked me to do a quick rant video about what I think about the coronavirus and its effect on football. But first of all, before the football bit, because I'm going to be an absolute ranter here, people who are going shopping and filling the baskets full of just whatever they want to fill it up with, don't. Simple as, buy what you need. Buy what you need, not what you think you're going to need, just buy what you need. Don't have 2 or 3 shopping trolleys full so no one else can buy anything. You don't need 16 packs of pasta, you don't need 20 gallons of milk, you don't need 16 cases of fucking beer. You go out, buy what you want, get out. Sorry, not buy what you want. Buy what you need, not what you want. Because everyone's in the same boat. Oh, life is out and shopping today, so there's like 3 bags of flour left on the shelf, and there's no meat to buy. There's none of this, there's none of that. And it's just like pathetic. It's like, buy what you need. Don't oversell. You don't need 16 fucking packets of toilet roll. Because it doesn't even, what do you need 120 rolls of toilet roll for? You don't use that in 3 weeks, so why do you think you're going to need to fucking buy it? Stop buying. Buy what you need and get out. Simples. Let everyone else have a chance. Pathetic. Getting on to football. My suggestion is to scrap Euro 2020 and continue on with the games left in the Premier League Championship. Not just in our country, in all the countries. So basically, all the European leagues finish off their leagues if they can. Obviously, because some countries are a lot more affected than we are, and feel sorry for people in Italy and some parts of Spain where it is bad. My heart goes out to these people and anyone who's lost anyone that they know. It's a sad situation, but we're just gonna go for it. Anyway, getting back to the football again. So play the games, finish off the seasons, so then people can turn around and say, yes, we did it right, we did this right, we did our bit. Scrap Euro 2020 completely and let's finish the leagues off and then start afresh in August. New season, hopefully that'll work. Playing behind closed doors is not going to work because clubs aren't going to make any money. So I'd say, but all the tickets have already been paid and this, that and the other. Yeah, so the clubs have got the money for the ticket, season ticket holders. But the people who haven't got season ticket holders, they put the 20 quid through the turnstile or whoever goes to the ticket house and buy a ticket, and then spend about another 20-30 quid on beers and crisps and hot dogs and shit like that. The clubs are losing out on that money, especially the smaller clubs, which is my next one is, smaller clubs. I think the FA should dip their hand in the pocket 500,000 to any of the Division 1, Division 2 teams, or even lower than that. Get your hand in your pocket. Spend a good 100 million on making sure that we don't lose any more teams, because it's not their fault. You're the FA. These people pay money to be in the FA. Get your money out. Get your hand out your pocket. Get some money out. Help these smaller teams, FA. Simple as. Even if it's like 200, 300,000, just to make sure that they're able to pay the wages. Because not everyone's on 300,000 or 400,000 a week. There's some people that need the £300-400 that they get paid a week to make sure that they pay the mortgage and this, that and the other. Not everyone's in this lavish lifestyle that they are in the Premiership and some division, Championship teams. So let's get that sorted out, FA. Sort it out. What else we got? Done that. Yeah. So getting back to it, I think we should actually stop playing with it, because like we've seen in the media, there's not just Tom, Dick and Harry that's getting this coronavirus. Some big teams are getting affected by it. Real Madrid, Juventus. I believe there's a Chelsea player that's been caught, but not what you call it, tested positive, unfortunately. So it's affecting everywhere. So the best thing to do there is just stop playing for a couple of weeks and just make sure you're sorted. Get it sorted. Don't play any of the football at all until people can get back into the stadiums. Pay like 20 quid to go and watch. Pay another 20 quid for a good beer, a couple of hot dogs, or vice versa, like I used to. And then get back to normal, because everyone's suffering. We're going to be suffering because we're going to have to actually spend time with our families this weekend as they're watching the football. He's ain't got any dancing this weekend anyway, that's a good thing. So, rant over for now. See how this goes. I'll most probably on sometime this week again to rant about more about the old pillocks that are emptying all the aisles in the shopping centres again, because they just don't understand what sensible buying is. So I'll speak soon. You all take it easy. Keep well. Keep safe. That's it. Later.
This podcast is part of the After Dark Podcast Network.